So, what are the differences from when I was here before? Well, when I stepped off a plane in the first 2 days that I was back, it was like, wow, this place is crazy. Because it kind of is, because there's a tension in the air, a kind of certain sort of attitude that's a lot different. And you get that, I guess, when you cross into Canada too, and Mexico. But compared to the Far East, this is really more of an edge, more of a. You feel like if you make the wrong move, you're going to get bashed in the head. There's a lot more of this. You can see there's a Chicago Police Department car right there. A lot more jackbooted police officers. And people's attitude has changed, their dress has changed. People are dressing down, obviously. More bikes being ridden versus cars. Kind of like less people, too. I don't know, because of the population, the flight from Chicago, because of the high taxes, you can kind of feel that too. There are more homeless in the street. There is a general understanding that people are dressing down instead of wearing a power suit or a shirt and tie. They're going with, kind of a more casual shirt, more casual pants, more casual dress, and they're not bothering to really dress to the nines like they were, pre-financial collapse, Great Recession, and those are the things that are most apparent to me. And you've got like 13 different classifications now for gender and sexual preference, which is all confusing. That was never really in the forefront before, but is very much now. You've got the racial thing still playing, and that is still ridiculous. I mean, to even call people neo-Nazis, I think, is ridiculous because, as you know, there is no Nazi party, so how could there be any legitimate Nazis walking around? They're just posing. They're just searching for handles to use to describe something that just comes down basically to tribalism, is what it is. And the tribalism has always been there, and it's not going to go away, and no matter how PC we get. It's better if we just talk about it without chastising people and stop talking about people that want to protect their values and may have different attitudes about race as being some kind of alien from outer space. I mean, I believe personally that every single person has these biases. It's just that not everybody is willing to talk about it openly, and very few people are willing to commit acts of violence. And the ones that do just bring it into focus, into the spotlight, and it kind of overshadows what individuals are all about. We're terribly flawed individuals, and we always will be. To have a perfect society that's accepting of everything is just unrealistic. So, this is my journey. Feeling like a tourist in my own country, but prices have been outrageous. Like when I left, you could get like a combo meal at a fast food place for like $2.99, $3.99, and now, you're looking at like it could be like $7, $8, $9, $10 for what is basically crap food, and that is considered the norm now. So more than double the price when it comes to foodstuffs and things like that, which I'm pretty certain that these people walking around out here are not making more than double their salary that they were in 2007. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but people are a little more disheveled, dressed down, tatted up. You have a lot more facial hair. You have a lot more females wearing yoga pants and flip-flops to elegant restaurants and bars, when it used to be a little more of a conservative dress. People looked a little cleaner, less disheveled, tired, and worn down. There are a lot more Asians in the street, and a lot more of a foreigner presence here than there was, especially in the college communities. there's a lot of Asian students that have come over here to study, and some of them are homeowners. And you'll hear more of that about that from you. That what's surprising is that there are a lot of housing communities now throughout Chicago and other parts of the country, especially East Coast, and even like I read in Houston, housing communities that are catering to only Chinese customers. You cannot bid on the properties if you have an American passport. You can only bid on them if you have a foreign passport. And I found that just kind of shocking that you can own property being a foreigner, and in fact they prefer it, and the prices are astronomical. I mean, people from the Middle East and people from far Asia that have the means are overpaying for properties because they have nowhere to put their money. And capital flight is the name of the game, and that's why you're seeing cryptos at insane levels, because they have nowhere else to put their money. So they're willing to overpay for something, but all that is going to come to a forefront. I mean, you're going to see another housing bubble collapse here. You see the bond bubble coming. You see stock market bubble. What we could be seeing is the perfect collapse, where you have all of these asset classes in a bubble and collapsing one after the other at the same time. I mean, nobody can get the timing right, obviously, but you know that things are in a bubble, and you know things that are overvalued. The things that are undervalued are completely over the heads of most of these people. Most of these people, if you ask them what is undervalued, they'll be way off, you know. But anything collectible, anything that has been beaten down, like gold and silver, numismatic coins, are still an excellent buy right now. We've seen art get bid up to insane levels, and you'll continue to see that. But there are still some assets out there that you can get that are way below value because of so much money creation and the price of everything else. It just kind of boggles the mind. But so here I am, just going through my days, in a little bit of a reverse culture shock, and just trying to see where I fit in with the downtrodden smorgasbord of people in my city now, all energy drinked up to the max, and all of them looking for something that they'll never find. Obviously a lot more homeless too. I mean, on every street corner. What's changed about the homeless thing is that I noticed that the people are younger and younger, and they basically a lot of them are Caucasian. I've seen some young ladies that otherwise look healthy and reasonably intelligent when you approach them and talk to them, that are homeless and on the street and begging for provisions. Did not expect that. Now we'll take a look at this antiquated public transit system. And of course our antiquated architecture. Some of these buildings are really great that are in disrepair, and I'll probably show you some of those eventually.